Hi everyone, this is Robbie with Warrior Spirit Teachings, and this is my last video in the anxiety mini-series that I've created for you. Today I actually want to talk with you about food and how it affects your anxiety. So, as typical, as normal, I'd like to open up with a prayer. Just like to do a quick little prayer for me and for you guys and set the good energy, good tone. All right. Thank you, Tankashala, for this day. Thank you for all of my family, all of my friends, all the experiences that I've had. Thank you for all the blessings in my life. Thank you for my little dog, Stanley. Thank you for this opportunity to be able to communicate with everyone out there today. I ask Tankashala that you will look out for all of us, that you will help us with our mental health and to help us to be strong, healthy, and happy. Help us to be able to live our best lives. And for light and joy and happiness and abundance. Thank you, Tankashala, for everything. Mitakio Yase. Just want to put this out real quick here. Okay. Did you know that food could be causing your anxiety? Your diet plays a critical role when it comes to anxiety. So today I want to talk with you a little bit about that. I have a little list here of some foods to avoid, and so I'm going to read them off to you because it's quite a few of them, and I can't quite remember them off the top of my head. So just bear with me. So foods to avoid or to reduce would be sugars, carbs, carbohydrates, alcohol, fried foods, and caffeine. And then here are some foods that you can eat to lower your cortisol. And I'll explain later what cortisol is so that you all know. Brown rice, quinoa, farro, blueberries, dark chocolate. That's pretty good. Seaweed, maca root, vitamins such as vitamin B12 and B6. Of course, you want to always make sure that you have a well-rounded multivitamin that you're taking, but these B vitamins 12 and 6 are amazing because that helps you with your energy. Omega fatty acids, chamomile tea, oolong tea, nuts, any variety of them, pumpkin seeds, oat straw tea. So there's a few options that you can try there. The reason that you would want to reduce sugar would be because it causes inflammation and histamine. So, inflammation, the puffiness, the histamine in your body, which actually triggers cortisol to appear in your body as well. Cortisol is a hormone that is produced during the fight or flight response. So essentially all anxiety is a fight or flight response is being triggered. And so you're feeling that anxious state you're feeling, up here. And so, of course, everybody's different with the fight or flight. Some people, when they're scared or in a state of an emergency, they want to fight. They want to go towards whatever is, bothering them or attacking them. And then people that are flight, primarily, then of course they want to, run away. They want to cower down, and head out. And so, maybe that can also give you an idea too of when you are in a state of anxiety, that'll give you an idea of like why, you know, maybe you get angry at somebody and really frustrated super easy if you're in an anxious state. Or maybe you just want to like be alone and you want to shut down and run away from, you know, a situation if you're full of anxiety as well. So I just wanted to tell you guys that so that you can kind of like correlate like scientifically the way that those hormones and those chemicals are going on in the body and how that creates anxiety in all of us. So like I said, you know, reducing foods that cause inflammation and histamine that create cortisol. It's good to try to limit those or completely cut those out of your diet if you can. And then it's extremely important to make sure and have a healthy gut. So your stomach actually governs how your whole entire body works. And a lot of people aren't really aware of that. So having a healthy gut is so important. So there again, it's important, you know, to put those whole foods, those good, organic, yummy, whole foods like that I'm pointing over here to the list, like that I listed off to you, put those types of things into your stomach so that you have that nutrition to be able to help you out with it. Of course, you can take things like probiotics, you can try kombucha, different things like that. You know, probiotics are the healthy bacteria, and that's essentially what kombucha is as well. So it helps, you know, boost your healthy flora in your stomach, because, you know, there is bad bacteria in there. Because, you know, when you're feeling sick, like say you have the flu or something, you're feeling really upset in your stomach, that's caused by unhealthy bacteria being in your stomach, along with other things, but I'm just breaking it down to make it simple. So you're just, you know, there's unhealthy bacteria in there. So you would want to, you know, there's times like we get put on an antibiotic, right? And so that kills that bacteria. But then after that's killed, that bacteria, it actually wipes out good bacteria as well. And so when you're off of an antibiotic, you definitely want to put back on a probiotic to build up that healthy bacteria in your gut as well. And you might think like, why is that important? What does that have to do with anxiety? Maybe I'm going on a tangent, but I'm really not. So stick in there with me. But what it is our stomach health, actually our stomachs contain neurons, and the healthy bacteria and the healthy levels of enzymes and all of that live in our stomachs, that actually sends signals straight to our brain. So if our stomachs are loaded with unhealthy bacteria and they're completely out of balance and out of whack, they're going to send distress signals up to the brain. And so that is also what causes anxiety, depression, all kinds of different mental issues. They come from having an unhealthy, imbalanced gut. So that's extremely important. And isn't that kind of crazy? I added that little tidbit in there that our stomachs have neurons. I just think that is the most fascinating thing, because, you know, neurons are the cells in our brains that send messages. Well, it's crazy that we have them in our guts, in our stomachs, and we also have neurons in our hearts. So, I mean, that puts like a whole nother light on, you know, don't think with just your head. You know, they always say follow your heart and follow your gut or your instincts. I mean, now there's actually some, you know, there's some science behind that. So anyway, food for thought. Just thought I'd throw that in there for you. But, okay, so back to food. So I had mentioned alcohol. And, you know, like having a little bit of wine or whatever it is you decide to drink, you know, whiskey, beer, whatever it is, if you have a little bit of it, then that's okay. You know, anything just in moderation is okay. But if you just, you know, if you go out and you're partying all the time, if you do, that's okay. I'm not judging you, but really just think about this. If you're out there and you're drinking whatever it is, and you're drinking heavily, and say you're doing it every weekend, or anytime you're stressed or you're bummed out or bad situation happens, then you go to alcohol, all you're doing really is masking up the symptoms. You're masking the reason that you're upset. And same with drugs. If you just go to that, you're allowing yourself to run away, essentially. You're masking it, you're covering it up, and you're running away. Because when you sober up from the alcohol or the drugs, whatever that made you feel good in the time, the problem's still going to be there. The emotion's still going to be there. And that means that you still need to address it. You need to work through that emotion so that you can heal and move past it and feel better. But every time that you ignore it or try to run away from it by, drinking a lot of alcohol or taking drugs. I mean, there's other ways to run away from things like that, binge watching TV. There's so many different ways that we can run away from our stress and our problems. And I'm not to say that you can't do any of that stuff at all. I mean, it's important to have pleasures in your life, but I guess the reason I'm kind of mentioning this is because, in my past, that's something that I've done. I've done that where, I'd have to go out and like party hard and go socialize and go to the concert or go to this event and all these different things, but I'd have to go and like get drunk. And it's like I'd work the work week, go to school, when I was in college, work the work week, and then go party. And then go party for like 2 days. Sometimes it turned into 3 days. Sometimes it turned into 4 days. I mean, I've been there. And so if you are there, that's okay. I'm not judging you. It happens. But if you really are severely suffering with anxiety and you want to get a handle on it, then this is something that you need to do. And the point is to allow yourself to not get into the alcohol, not to get into the drugs and run away. And I know that's probably a triggering word. You're thinking, I'm not running away. But you are. You need to be able to come and be with yourself and heal and move past and process those emotions. And so then, you'll find out you don't need the alcohol. You don't need the drugs. And I mean, that's what I eventually figured out, and that's the stage that I'm in right now. And so I'm just trying to share this with you so that, hopefully this can help you out a little bit. So, and as far as like, drinking a lot of alcohol of whatever form, whether it's wine, beer, whiskey, it doesn't matter. Drinking a lot of that, it's really hard on your body, and it's something you might want to think about not doing as well, because alcohol just turns into sugar. That's all it is. Turns into sugar in the blood. And so like I was saying, you want to reduce the amount of sugar that you have in your body because it's creating those inflammation, the histamines, and it's causing cortisol. So you're actually getting anxious more often. And so that's something to think about. And then, of course, like drugs, they also have bad effects on your body as well. So, and of course, I'm not going to go into that really deep, but kind of keep this more along the line of like foods. But yeah, and so I hope that those tips can help you a little bit and kind of give you a little insight on, how diet is actually really important when it comes to trying to, keep your mental health in check and keep everything in balance. So as far as like, some tips of what I do personally every day to make sure and have a healthy diet and to keep my mental state in balance as well is every morning I end up having a digestive smoothie. And I call it a digestive smoothie because it has different things in it that actually help with your digestion. And so when you have good digestion, like I said, that's also along the lines of having a healthy gut. Because if you're eating a bunch of like fried, dense, really heavily processed foods, it's going to just stay in there and it's going to be sluggish, and it's, you know, it's not going to move through. And so, you know, you're going to feel uncomfortable and bloated and constipated and all those types of things. So the digestion is really important too. So, yeah, I just make a little digestive smoothie. I put frozen organic blueberries, strawberries. Then I put a vegetarian protein powder in it. And then I put, oh gosh, right now I'm using this, it's called like super greens. So it has like spinach, kale, spirulina, all these amazing things that help with like digestion, but also helps like spirulina and like chlorella and stuff. Those plants actually help your cells get more oxygen in them. And so it's extremely helpful keeping your body like functioning properly. So those greens, and then I do goji acai cacao powder, and it doesn't have any sweetness to it because the sweetness of the fruit and like the vanilla protein powder is enough, but it just kind of gives it that chocolate flavor, which I really like. But cacao or cocoa is, you know, however which way you want to say it, chocolate. It's really good at dark chocolate. It's really good at getting rid of the inflammation and the histamines and the cortisol, but then it also gives you a boost of energy. And then of course like the goji and the acai berry that's in the powder, and I'll have to link that stuff below, the stuff that I use, but it's really tasty. But anyway, the acai and the goji berries are actually called superfoods. So that means they're just jam-packed with antioxidants. And if you know what antioxidants are, they are the ones that get rid of those radical compounds that are in our bodies that cause cancer. So it's really important to always have antioxidant types of foods. So the goji berries, the acai, and then of course like blueberries are amazing, and they're full of antioxidants as well. Yeah, and then lately too into my smoothie, I've been, of course I do plant milks. You can do almond, coconut. I do like this one that I have, it has a blend of almond and coconut in it, and I just really like the flavor, so I put that in there. And then I put in, it's this beet powder, like the beet, you know, the vegetable, the root, the red beet. It's this powder, and it doesn't taste that good on its own, in my opinion, because I'm not a huge fan of beets. But when I add the chocolate and everything like that, it's like you can't even taste it. But the beets are so important because it helps your like your overall heart health, and then it helps with like helping the heart to actually like pump through, and it helps reduce like cholesterol and high blood pressure and all of that that's going in the veins. So, you know, I'm kind of throwing a lot at you, but overall, just it's a healthy heart and then a healthy body, right? So that's important to do too. Helps with the circulation as well. So that is really great. And then, you know, for like lunch, I'll end up doing, you know, maybe like quinoa and vegetables and a little bit of lean meat. Or else I'll do like a healthy salad. And then at dinner, you know, I'll do those types of things as well, you know, maybe like a roasted chicken, the quinoa and the vegetables, tacos. Tacos are good. And I love these tacos that I make. I use the small coconut flour tortilla shells, and then I put like chicken or beef in there, and then I put a little bit of red cabbage chopped up, a little red onion, and then I just put like salt and pepper and then a little bit of like olive oil, And I mean, it's excellent. And no cheese, which, you know, I do like cheese, but I like to stay away from it too because cheese also causes a lot of inflammation. Any dairy products cause a lot of inflammation. So, like I said, inflammation causes histamines, which causes cortisol. So, it is kind of, if you can, limit yourself on your dairy. That will help a lot as well. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I just kind of did a quick brief overview on, you know, a few foods, like kind of some tips and tricks on how to keep your gut healthy and why it's so important, and talking about the different things. But of course, you could go a lot further into all of that. And so if you guys have any questions, go ahead and feel free to leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this has resonated with you. And yeah, I guess just stick in there, stay healthy, stay happy and strong. And I hope that you give some of these suggestions a try. And I will see you guys in the next video next week. So thank you so much and take care.